Hi guys, it's Tracy in Australia and I'm here with a video share. This one is very special to me. It's taken me several months to make it and it was part of my journey to get back into creating. I had about nearly 2 years where I haven't really been able to make anything due to a whole heap of reasons that I'm not going to go into. But one of the things that helped me was going back and looking at things that inspired me. And so, of course, one of the really creative people that I love is Angie Bunner. And so I went back and looked at a lot of the videos that people have made of the things that she's gifted them. And the last one I watched was from a video by Heather at Ruby and Pearl, and she received a Seaside journal and other things that went with it. And I actually decided I was going to make my very own Angie Bunner journal. So this is for me. It's a tribute to Angie's style and her amazing creativity. And I don't even begin to suggest that I've come anywhere close to that, but it's my take on the journal that she made for Heather. So I'm not going to talk a lot in this. The one thing that I wasn't able to do was to use a lot of authentic ephemera because I simply don't have those things. So I did make most of the ephemera that's in here. I'll point out the few little pieces that I didn't. So here it is. This is what it looks like. It's pages that are loose and they're just, I punched holes in them and just used this seam binding to tie them together. I found this in an opportunity shop the other day and decided to use that as a dangle on the side. So without further ado, let's go. So as I said, I've made most of the ephemera that goes in here, and Heather does have a video about the distressing techniques that that Angie uses. Just let me see if I can make this a fraction bigger. And you can find that on her channel. So this was a photo that I distressed. Most of the photos come from Pinterest, and a lot of them were similar to the ones that Angie used in the journal. So some tissue paper. I love printing on that, and I love how flat it makes everything lie. Using lots of different kinds of papers is really good because it gives a lot of variety. So this is actually an old envelope that I've had for a long time. It came from my mother-in-law. So where I punched the holes for things, I did use bits of paper to act as extra reinforcement. While this is not a vintage postcard, it's actually a reproduction and was sent to me by a lovely lady who's part of a group that I belong to in Australia called Junk Journal Junksters Down Under. Hi Yvonne. And this photo has a connection to her husband's family, and I was really pleased to be able to put that in this journal. So, I did a lot of scrunching. That technique I got off a lady, Sally Bell from Rainy Day Gypsies. This is one of the only pieces of authentic ephemera that I have, and it's just beautiful. It's got bits of gold on it and it's embossed. So I was really happy to be able to put that treasure into my journal. And hopefully one day I might get some other things that I can pop in there. Most of the letters that are in the journal were ones that I've printed out. These are two authentic postcards that I did have. They're from Britain. This one's Brighton. Oh, wrong place. Little piece of tatting. This is actually a document that I folded over and made a little tuck spot out of. I created this card. It's several different layers. I made this envelope out of some fabric. Seaside Notice, and notice how I've torn that up. And then this letter is printed onto tissue paper. Which I absolutely love. This is actually an old photo. It's very cute. It's two ladies and dogs at the beach, and this is a little reproduction. Very old lace. So I made a little slide out of using that little photo. And you can see that I've chosen the colours, like there's a theme all the way through. That just has a little card in there. I'll put a link in the description box to the digitals that I used for the envelopes and letters. I used things from several different people, including Ruby and Pearl. This is wallpaper that I put through embossing folder. And again, a letter. It's probably, I love the way they fold up, and I've popped a little photo that I've distressed in there. This one's printed onto vellum, and I've used reinforcements there. I really love this idea of putting old things onto layered pieces of really old paper. This was actually from a very old record cover. This is an original page from, I think, a 1940s English magazine, sample stamp, onto newspaper. Just little bits and pieces. And these are photos of women collecting or fishing women, and they go around the fisherman's daughter. So I've kind of tried to tell a little story with all the bits and pieces. And again, this is one of those envelopes, one of those letters that folds open. This one's actually a French receipt. So most of the ephemera that I've used is either French or English. I like that vibe. I didn't use any American things that I know of. So another little cluster or that I've made down there with bits of old paper, and the photograph is sewn around. This one is one of those long printables, the French legal document, and here I've just done little layers. This is actually an old tea bag that I rinsed out, and has a little tag up the top. And on the back there's another photo and a letter on tissue paper. So this is actually one of those really large legal size documents, again, French. And I have closed it. So the actual document pages are in there. And I've closed that with a ribbon. On the back, just some pieces that I've added. Oh, I think that pops over the top. Yeah. And nothing in there. I found it hard to find letters that weren't kind of like legal documents. I was after kind of more personal things. So I thought I'll just leave some spaces and maybe later on I'll come across things to put in there. This one does have a letter in it. This is a long one, and it's got one of those brads that holds things together. So a bit of old lace, a photo, a piece from the graphics fairy, another photo, and I've stamped on the bottom of that and then put postcard on the back, and a bit of an old document. This is an envelope that's opened out to keep those pieces together. And they've wrapped in tissue paper. That idea came from the Seaside Journal that Angie had made. Some children playing with sailing boats. Printed onto tissue paper. I just love how they come out. And some scrappy pieces. And while I was looking for things, I found these stereo photo postcards, which are really cool. So apparently you look through a special pair of glasses and they actually move a little bit or give a 3D effect. And I just embossed on that card. Here I've made a little dangle with, again, some tatting, an old photo. I've torn that, added some sticky tape, just did a little stamping. I love this little girl. I've got this thing about bloomers at the moment, and I made a whole heap of tags of kids wearing bloomers. I like this because it's got some writing on it, some washi down here. And this is a paper bag which I've reinforced, and it's got a little tuck spot on the front, so swan themed. And then in the pocket, so let me move that, is a little journal with made from various bits and pieces. Just a little postcard tucked in there. A letter. And another scrap of a beautiful village at the seaside, just tucked up there. And I think there's another letter in there. That one's on parchment. And on the back, there's a pocket, and that has this card in it. And then these little pieces. So seashells, and there's a photo of some ladies collecting seashells. Another little photo. Notice, ladies on the beach must wear bloomers. How cute is that? Digital beside the seaside and a little cluster up there. I just love these really ratty, tatty bits of paper. It's a receipt and then a letter that's printed onto tissue paper, and I think there's another pocket behind there, but I haven't put anything in there. I love this page. It's just some collaging, but I really like it. And here, some pockets. I had to include this. I just love it because this is a standard poodle. And last year we lost, or at the beginning of this year, in the last 6 months, we've lost 2 of our standard poodles, which was very, very difficult. And then my final page, I thought this photo of these people standing with their backs was a really cute way to finish. So I just added this ruffle made out of a bit of a scarf that was sent to me by my friend Kim. Hi, Kim. And some little tags, papers and letters. So that's it, my tribute to the wonderful and talented Angie Bunner. And thank you to Ruby and Pearl for a fabulous flip through and talk about Angie's style and the beautiful things that she's received from her. Okay, thank you for watching. Stay safe and I will see you again soon.